Hi guys, Saki with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a free-for-all match on the map Booby Traps. I'm starting in the middle right position, playing as the Allies. So in this game on the map Booby Traps, it's a strange map, it's quite unique. It's got like loads of crates, and some of the crates are good, and some of them are very bad. There's like more bad crates on this map compared to other maps, but there's like crates everywhere really. So it's like, you know, it's just a like surprise whether you're going to get a bad one or a good one. I do think it's worth collecting them with infantry, especially because if they blow up, then you lose like just one infantry. But you can get like really good things like money boxes, and I think that's the thing I'm going for mainly, is like the money crates. If I get money crates, then that's just going to make it a lot easier, and that's quite a good crate as well actually, having one of those early on, because it means you can go scouting. And now you can see that red is going, or has quite a few infantry. Oh, I lost that, probably wasted it a little bit. But I'm going to need to produce some infantry now, because red has quite a few. He's also played as Soviet, so he has some grenadiers, and that could make things a little bit tricky. So I'm just built some more infantry, I'm just sending them up, and I'm also doing a bit of scouting like to the left of his base. And we can see his ore trucks there going across to my ore patch. So that's obviously his closest ore patch, so his base is very, very local. And now I'm building my next ore refinery. I'm going to be also getting some tanks out soon, so we'll have to wait and see what happens here. I'm just spreading my infantry out a little bit, because he is using grenadiers, and if grenadiers throw grenades, they can kill like a whole bunch of infantry at once if you have them all clumped together. So it's best just to space them out a little bit. And I got some good kills there with that light tank. Managed to squash some of his troops over, quite a few of them. And there I've got a money crate as well, so that's worked out really well for me. And now we're going to go for the attack, for the fight. He has got a heavy tank, but I've got quite a few light tanks, and I outnumber him, and they go down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go for his economy. We can see he's got 2 ore trucks mining there, so we're going to try and take out both of those ore trucks. And that'll just like save ore on our patch, and then we're going to go on the base attack. You can now see him taking his ore truck back to his base. I've also got a service depot, so I'm going to try and build an MCV while I'm ahead. And now we're going into the base, but we can see his ore refinery there. We've got some infantry as well, so they're going to provide some good damage. And that ore refinery goes down, and I'm bringing those infantry back in. And we're also going to go for that war factory as well, which also goes down. And that heavy tank is going to be taken out. And now what we're going to do is going to take out the construction yard, so he can't build anymore. And just getting some troops out just to get those boxes, those crates, to see if there's any we can get more money or other good things. And you can see yellow doing a little bit of scouting there. So yeah, it was a bit unfortunate. Let him get a bit of map visibility. A lot of these crates though, quite a few of them, sometimes they have they reduce map visibility, they take away all the map visibility that you gained. I will probably see them at work later on in the game. But now you can see that red is he's still got his ore trucks going out, which means he's got another ore refinery lower in that black patch, which we can't see. And he's taking quite a big infantry army to my base at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building some pillboxes, quite a few of them. And now he's going for those ore trucks. He's doing quite a bit of damage to that one, and it does look like it might go down. But no, it's just been saved by those pillboxes. He's going for another ore truck. But I'm just building more and more pillboxes, and you can see those infantry being absolutely shredded. That's one thing that pillboxes do really well. It's taking out infantry. And now I'm just taking out some tanks to the bottom of there. And yeah, he's got quite a lot of infantry, because that's the only thing he can build. He'll probably have plenty of money to do it as well. Just trying to take out that barracks now with some of my tanks. They'll probably get quite a bit of damage done from those infantry, but once we get that barracks, at least we know we can't build any more infantry, and it goes down. And I could have alternatively taken out the ore refinery, but if you take out the barracks, then he can't build, even if because he might have a big surplus of ore, for all we know. And now it's just a case of taking out these remaining buildings. I'm also going to be building a radar dome, so I can see have some visibility of what's going on in different parts of the map while I'm focused on one part. So we can have a look there, and we can see that yellow's got a base in the bottom right hand position, and there's some troops coming out. Now, you probably saw it, and I can't believe I missed it. I saw it like easily when I watched the replay, but yeah, you'll see soon. And yeah, I accidentally built a radar dome, and yeah, there it is. There's a Tanya coming into my base. And what I need to do quickly is, I think I've got a pillbox there, and that pillbox takes it out. And I mean, it was so obvious in the replay, but I just missed it while I was playing. But yeah, it didn't do, like, in the end of the day, it's not an absolute nightmare because I do have an extra MCV out. So extra construction yards employed is taken out, I think. A few buildings, but I've still got an ore refinery in that part of the map. And now we're going to take out that last building from red. And red is now officially out of the game. And we're just getting another war factory there, just to get that fast building speed for tanks. And now it's just about stabilising and just getting this position fortified. We know that Tanyas are coming through, so we're expecting them now. And we're just putting some more pillboxes down there as a precaution, in case he decides to bring more Tanyas to join us. And yeah, you can see my tank numbers are building up a little bit now. It looks like red is the only team to go out so far. We've still got 3 other teams. And I'm going to suppose now it's going to be like corners. So there's going to be a team in each corner. And he can see another Tanya coming. So he thinks he's going to get another Tanya in. But this time we're prepared. We've already had one Tanya. And we're expecting another. And that Tanya goes down. And now one thing to actually do in this map is probably don't use tanks to get the crates, because a lot of them do blow up. Use your troops, because then if it is a bad crate, it's only a few resources that you've wasted rather than a whole tank, which can be quite expensive if you do lose a lot of tanks to crates. Right now, what I need to do is I need to stabilise. I'm actually quite happy that yellow's building Tanyas, because what it tells me is he's focused on tech centres and things like that. So he may not have a great economy, but you can see my economy is starting to struggle a little bit now. And I've also spread my ore trucks out on one of the ore patches. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop building tanks and build an ore truck. And that's just going to be, it's the smart thing to do if you're ever struggling for ore. And I've got a money crate at the same time, so good times. That's going to really help me a lot. It's going to give me the extra funds I need to expand my economy. And then I can go back to building tanks. Because it doesn't look like yellow are really interested in bringing any tank forces up yet. It seems like they're trying to play like more the Tanya play and try and go for some of those sneaky base kills. But I am better protected now. Although this base is, I guess this left base isn't as well protected, but I don't think he knows about this quite yet. Because we did see he did get a yellow infantry guy into my main base early at the start of the game. Now he does have some tanks there, so I am aware of that, so I'm going to need to be careful. But as he's playing Soviets, he's not going to get full map visibility. So he might not know about this outer base that I've got. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start expanding a number of MCVs and get that faster structure building speed and being able to expand to different parts of the map. Yeah, having a watch of those green infantry. Because, yeah, I don't really want them to get into the base, just taking my army up just for... I may as well. It doesn't look like there's anything around at the moment. We've got a radar dome, we can see it, so we'll just do a bit of scouting. If I bring my whole army, they'll just get rid of some of that black shroud. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start placing gap generators, and that's going to make it harder for the enemy to decide whether they need to attack or not. Because they're not going to be able to see what's inside my base. And now we get another one of those MCVs deployed, and that's going to give me a really fast building speed. However, I am running out of funds. And let's see what that crate... Oh, that crate just disappeared before we got to it. But now we have full map visibility, and that's going to be really useful. And what we can see, which is dangerous, is that Cyan is building a navy on that big island. So the question is, do we do the same? And I think it might be quite important. I think yellow is going to be preoccupied with green, because they'll be obviously aware that green is to the left. And I think that's going to be their biggest threat at the moment. We can also see green going to the middle as well. And I wonder, is he going to be trying to go for Navy? Because he is playing as the Soviet, so it's going to be quite a bit hard for him. And we can see those Cyan. Yeah, he is going for Navy, definitely. He's got like 3 sub-pens. But we can see those destroyers and those cruisers going towards my base. So I'm going to try and produce some destroyers here. But the unfortunate thing is he does have 4 already here at this current time. So getting another one. But the problem is my destroyers are going to be taken out pretty quickly. I just need to decide what I'm going to do with these tanks right at the moment. Because you can see the naval battle here isn't going too well. And now he's got those cruisers as well, which can take out structures really, really quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send these tanks to the top left of the map. And we're just going to run them across. And I'm also going to build some defences in my main base. Because I can see that Rambo is there in the middle. He's quite close as well. And it doesn't look like yellow are too active at the moment. So that's going to be okay. So we're going to take our tank force across and see how much damage we can do to that Cyan base. You can see he doesn't have many tanks defending it. It looks like he's spent quite a lot of infantry. And we're going to try and take out his economy in this area of the map. Question is, does he have many things to defend it? And now the tanks are coming in. We managed to get 2 good auto refinery kills. But now those tanks are coming in. He's also got some turrets as well. And he's building, he's bringing in those medium tanks. But those medium tanks are low in number. And it looks like I'm going to be able to get the upper hand at this point. You can see those medium tanks being taken out. And what's going to happen to those ore trucks now is they're going to have to travel further down the map. So yeah, just taking out some key buildings there. Going for that power plant. And just building defences around my base all of the time. But now we see some movement from yellow. And the question is he coming for my base? It does look like that might be the case. But what? Yeah, the thing is my tanks are just so far away at the moment. I will be building some tanks inside my base. But yeah, though. Oh, that yellow army seems to be stopped. It doesn't look like it's going all the way. But I do have medium tanks being built as we speak. So, yeah, hopefully they will be able to defend against yellow if he does decide to go for the attack. And getting a bit distracted there. I'll also have to watch out for Rambo, who's in the middle of the map as well. Because he might try and destroy those ore trucks. You can see some Teslas there, and I've just had a look at Rambo's army, and that is quite huge. So that's a lot of heavy tanks, and if he decides to attack with that, at this point in the time, I would be out of the game. So it's going to make things quite difficult. I'm also going to bring that MCV to the top of the map because I want to get it across to the other side, so I can start building structures there and start using those ore resources. And what I'm doing now is I'm just building some structures. Hey, yeah, what I was trying to do actually was try to build structures just so I could get the MCV across and distract the Navy. But it doesn't look like that's the case. And the question is, can this MCV get there? It's on very low HP. All I need to do is deploy it and then get a turret down. And once I get a turret down, that's fine because I've got like established. And it does look like that MCV has just got across there by the skin of its teeth. And now I've got a turret down. I'll start repairing it. Although I do seem to be low on funds, so I'm not going to be able to repair it right to the top. I'm also going to get a pillbox down. I'm just trying to get a few things down there. And now we see a Tanya once again. And it... Oh. Yeah, I thought I was well enough defended. Apparently not, but... yeah, you can see that those Cyan ore trucks now starting to be able to mine again. I'm going to have to take some more trucks across and some more Tanyas coming through. And I think these might be Tanyas from green instead. Yeah, yellow, because yellow had Tanyas earlier on, but I think green might be using them now as well. And now I'm just bringing some tanks across because I do see that those funds being gathered for Cyan. Yeah, and we just see though, yeah, we can see he's got like a load of barracks there. He's definitely producing Tanyas. He's also got a big heavy tank army, but now we can see that yellow is going for the attack on green, so at least that's going to distract him a little bit while I try and take out Cyan in the top left. But yeah, that green army is certainly big, and to talk about a big army, that's a big ore truck commitment on that ore patch, and I do want to get rid of that straight away because I want to use that ore patch, and with that many ore trucks, it's not going to last very long. So let's see if we can get these ore refineries out. You can see him bringing some medium tanks in, and those 3 ore refineries look like they're going to go out. The last ore refinery now, and it goes down, and now we'll try and take out those medium tanks and get an ore refinery deployed of our own. And we're also going to take out that construction yard in the top left hand corner, so he's not going to get away with that. And yeah, now he's sort of like been pushed off this ore patch. And what we're going to do is we're just going to try and protect our base here as well as possible. The only thing I'm worried about is what's happening in the middle of the map with green, who'll have undoubtedly destroyed my ore trucks there, but there's just nothing I can do about that at the moment. And now we're going in for a fight against Cyan. It's medium tanks v medium tanks, and we have the upper hand because we've got the better tank numbers at the moment.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
And yeah, we're going to try and push him now. Let's see if we can get inside the base. We're getting rid of some of those turrets. And what we need to get is we need to get rid of the major buildings, the construction yards, the things like that. But he does have a mighty arsenal of turrets there. And I'm just wondering, has he lost his construction? Because I can't see a construction yard there, so I don't know if it's actually gone. Maybe it was his construction yard that he'd undeployed and he'd taken it to the top left of the map. And if that's the case, it means he can't build any more structures. It also looks like he's out of ore refineries. So if he's got no ore refineries left, that means he's pretty much out of the game. Yeah, okay, he can build some more. Like, it depends how many resources he's floating. But it means that he's going to be able to build no extra navy units. But now we can see there's a bit of a fight here going on. And I've lost an ore refinery. And Rambo is now going on the attack. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing these tanks just through, because we're going to need to defend against this, because Rambo does have a lot more tanks than I do, and that army is quite large. So let's see how our medium tanks fare. You can see he's going for structures, and he's going for the tech centre, which goes down. And I have been low on resources most of this game, so building another tech centre wasn't really an option. And now we're going for those heavy against those heavy tanks. Let's see if we can survive this. You can see I'm losing most of the space here. And it depends if he decides to go on to my right base. And it also depends what position the yellow is in as well, and if he goes for an attack on green. We did see earlier that green had a massive amount of tanks in his base, so I don't think this is all his tanks that he's brought here. It might have been better probably to bring all of his tanks and then just destroy my base completely, but it just seemed like some of those tanks are starting to get whittled down. I do have the better tank mass of the tanks that are fighting. There's also a crate there. I don't know whether I dare get it, but doesn't seem to have anything. And some of those heavy tanks now going down. We'll have to see where he decides to go for next. He's probably not aware of my base in the top left position because he is playing as the Soviets. And it does look like there's some Tanyas, a little bit of an army of Tanyas running in at the moment. So we'll have to build some pillboxes to deal with them. I've also got some infantry there. And we can see those Tanyas coming in now, going to be doing some base kills. But I think my ore refinery is protected, and that's the important thing. So we'll have to see where those Tanyas decide to go. Also going to just mend some of those pillboxes. Yeah, I think the Tanyas won't be able to do much there, so it's all good for now. But I only have one construction yard. I better get that healed up, actually. It's been on low HP because when I tried to repair it earlier in the game, I had no funds, so it's just stopped repairing as it does. And yeah, we've got very little map visibility now because we lost our tech centre. So we don't know what's happening in other places in the map. And the question is, do we start pushing on Green's base and try and get him out the middle of the map? Or do we leave it and try and stabilise for the time being? Because our economy is not strong.
Unit ready.
And now this is where it really pays off, having this like base in the top left position, because I'm getting loads of funds from there. And it's helping me fight the battles I need to back at my main starting position. We can see a green tank there at that top ore patch, but yeah, it's only one tank. I'm not too worried. And just having a bit of a look around now, just trying to stabilise, get those ore trucks collected efficiently. I'm going to have to be careful about Cyan, though, but at least I know he can't build any more units now because he's out of ore. Unless he had a massive float of them and has some secret big army stashed somewhere. But I'm pretty sure he would have attacked me in that top left position by now if he did. And now we're going to go for the attack. Let's see if we can get some map visibility and just to push those green forces back a little bit because they do have a good economy, mining off this middle patch as well as the other ore patches they've got. And you can see there's quite a lot of tanks there again, once again. So let's see how this goes. We're just bringing our tanks in. This is like medium V heavy tanks, so those green tanks are quite, it's a little bit stronger. And we'll also have to be careful that we're not diving into Tesla, because Tesla do major damage against tanks. Even though medium tanks are a bit stronger than light tanks, they still do a massive amount of damage. So let's see how this fight goes. The thing is just about microing them as much as possible, moving them around as they fire. And you can see some of those green tanks being whittled down, but I'm also losing some of my own as well. And yeah, it looks like it's a bit of a little bit of a stalemate at the moment. I am getting quite a good reinforcement of tanks flowing through. And I'm also going to build some turrets there, and that's just going to provide a little bit of that extra firepower that I'm going to need, just to destroy those tanks a little bit more quickly. And I think I'm going to have the tank numbers maybe to take this. Because you can see that green is quite stationary at the moment, although he does have a lot of tanks held further back, so that's going to be a bit problematic. I think that yellow might be attacking him at the moment, and that's why he might be a bit stationary, so we'll have to wait and see. But a lot of those tanks going down. I'm getting a very good trade at the moment. The longer it goes on like this, the better the trade is, the more tanks he loses. But now he's noticed, and he's bringing those extra tanks in from the back. But he's put us in quite a decent position because our tank numbers are probably about even at this point. I might even be slightly up. And yeah, they're just falling quite a bit. I've also got some turrets in the background firing, so those heavy tanks are hopefully not going to last too long. And once we destroy these heavy tanks, we'll be able to have a bit of a look at maybe pushing on into his base. But the question is, how many tanks does he have held back, and is he going to bring them forward? But right now what's happening is we're getting into a better position. We're getting more stable, we're getting more map control. We're going to be able to start controlling this middle ore patch again. But I think green is still the big worry. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and build that tech centre. Just so I can get more, like, map visibility again, so I can get satellite. Because when you don't know what's going on in different parts of the map, you don't know where to attack. You can go to attack, but then if they've got a huge army there, you might want to retreat. So it's just need to know what exactly is going on, and just bring in another construction yard out, just to increase my building speed. Because I have lost quite a few construction yards this game due to Tanya's. I can't see any Tanyas around right at the moment, but that doesn't mean to say that there will be none coming. And yeah, just getting another ore truck out because I'm struggling a little bit for funds. And I'm going to be able to mine off this patch right now, so that's going to be a big bonus for me. And we can see that Cyan is coming in now with those medium tanks, trying to get a bit of revenge for what happened earlier. And I think this is probably the last of his army. And he does have quite a few medium tanks actually there. He's managed to take out that ore truck. That ore refinery anyway. So I've lost an ore refinery. I'm quite surprised he hasn't actually attacked. And I think this is why he's going to this position. He's trying to bait me. Trying to bait me to go forwards. So his cruisers can do some work as well. I was going to say I'm surprised he didn't attack that top position. But that top position's still getting me good funds. And still doing really well. But now those tanks coming in again. And going for the ore truck kill. And we can see they're going to push in, and then every time my tanks come in, they're going to pull back, so the cruisers get to fire on my tanks. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to try and take those medium tanks out because they are doing a lot of damage to my economy. And but yeah, you can see that cruiser fire just doing a lot of damage. And yeah, those medium tanks getting back in position. But you can see the numbers have been whittled down quite a bit, and I'm just having a bit of a look now. Either going to go around to the back side of my base. I'm just going to bring my tanks up there because it does look like that's the direction they're heading. And indeed they do. So let's see how this fight goes. Again, they're going to pull back. try and get in the safety of the cruisers. I'm just going to have that oil refinery just pulled back a little bit. But yeah, you can see them try to take out that construction yard. So I'm going to move that. Redeployable construction yards are on. And I'm wondering, is that yellow stationary? Has he lost all his oil refineries? That might be green then. Green might be fighting yellow at the moment. So if yellow and green are having a fight, I don't know if that's good for us or bad for us anyway. I'm just surprised that Cyan is managing to attack me from this position, because I would have thought green would have stopped him from getting this far. And yellow is out of the game. So I think Rambo was probably having a fight with green. And now I get map visibility once again. And we can see those Cyan cruisers just lined up on the middle there. But now Rambo's coming in to the starting position of my base. So I'm going to bring these tanks in. He doesn't have many tanks left. So we're going to be able to take those out. But they're on very low HP. And those pillboxes doing some great work there, taking out those low HP tanks. They've just obviously been on a fight in yellow's base. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to push down. I'm just having a bit of a look here. And now he's going for the attack on this base. I thought he would have attacked like earlier, but he decided not to. And I do want this base to survive. So I'm just thinking about what I should do. Whether I should bring my tanks over there. And will it survive that long? But we see Rambo as well with a big army. So maybe it's just going to have to fall. And by the time I get there anyway, I think I'd probably lose all the buildings. So yeah, unfortunately, losing that was like a really valuable spot there. Because I was just getting so many funds from it. Like when you got 3 oil trucks working on an patch, it's good. And I think, yeah, unfortunately that's, I don't have much left. Is his tanks going to go for my tanks, or are they going to go for a fight against that large power plant? Because if I keep that large power plant there, at least I've got a base there. And I'm just having a look on my map because I can see the green are sort of possibly making a move. And this is just the question now. Can I make a move against Cyan and just take them out of the game once and for all? We're just having a bit of a look at this thing. We're taking out some of those power plants. And now you can see him selling up. And going for that war factory there to speed up. He obviously had quite a few resources there. So yeah, we just try to take out as many buildings as we can. But now we can see that green is coming up to my main base. So I'm going to have to try and defend this. I'll take these tanks across that I've been building while... Yeah. And you can see, yeah, he doesn't have too big of an army there. So I'm not too worried. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an army on his main base and hopefully distract him. So he has to come back with that those forces. So taking out those 2 Tesla coils, and now we can start taking out some of the major buildings like the war factories, like the oil refineries and things like that. And you can see Rambo's noticed he's taking tanks in. The question is, does he have as many tanks as he did before? Because I think he did lose quite a bit when he fought yellow, it just looked like it. And just try to take out as many of those tanks as we can, so then we can start going for the major buildings and then trying to do a hit on the economy, because I have lost quite a bit back at my main base. And I'm in quite a weak position at the moment currently. So now we've taken out some of those war factories, and we're going to go for some of those oil refineries now and try and, yeah, there's 3 there. So if we take out those oil refineries, some of those oil trucks will be long distance mining. The only problem is I've got green attacking my base as well, so I need to just try and minimise casualties at my own base while doing lots of damage to Rambo's base. And that's... Oh yeah, he's got my tech centre once again, unfortunately. Yeah, and it's just not been my day with tech centres, let's put it like that. But we're getting some of his war factories down, and every time we get a war factory down, that means he's going to have a reduced building speed. But he's also getting some of our major structures down. And we just need to make sure we have enough oil refineries to collect ore and things like that. And yeah, those tanks are on low HP at the moment. So if they do go near that other oil refinery, they are going to be taken out quite quickly. But yeah, and yeah, Rambo there, getting that heavy tank out of the way. He was going for one of my oil trucks, but that didn't work. And now we can go and focus back on the base. So I'm losing quite a bit from different parts of the map, but I seem to be hanging on just barely. At least I've got some base defences around that last ore refinery on the right side of the map. While I try and build a new one, at least I have the funds now as well. And now we're going for the attack. We've destroyed one of those ore trucks. But the major thing here is those heavy tanks. And it looks like I have the better medium tank numbers at the moment. And those heavy tanks having to pull back. The question is, how much damage can we do? We can see he's got Tesla, which is going to be hard to push into. But I'm just going to need to give it a try anyway. And get another ore refinery up here. So the top part of the map, just a bit out of the way. And you can see, once again, Cyan going for an attack on that top left base. So, yeah, that top left base having all sorts of trouble with Cyan. Which isn't surprising, and I did take out most of his own base. So, he's trying to get a little bit of revenge, probably. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a war factory up there. Let's see, does he go for the water? Yeah, he might get that war factory, so it might be an ill-fated move. But what we'll do is we'll get some base defences down. And we get some tanks out at the same time. So I've got one tank out, but yeah, he seems to be solely focused on it. Let's see if we can, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be able to be saved. But it was a nice try. At least we've got some tanks in his position. And we're still, essentially, what's really important is we've held a base piece here. So when we build an ore refinery, we can replace it. We can place it. If you've got the whole of my base, then I wouldn't be able to place an ore refinery there. I would need to get an MCV across, which would be further expense. And now we can see that it was moving to the right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build some defensive structures there, like pillboxes. You can see they're missing that base and going straight down. But yeah, now he's seen it, and now he's bringing his medium tanks up. They are going for the ore refinery, but I do have some base defences here to help that out. Although base defences aren't that great against tanks always, they do quite a bit of damage in these situations. Just having a bit of a look at the bottom part of my map and what's going on there. And it does look like I've been able to get a bit of a tank army going once again. And just having a bit of a look at my map, I've got like pillboxes all over the place. And yeah, I'm just going to keep that ore refinery over here for the time being, because I'm going to get another ore refinery placed there. And a war factory also. Even though I don't think Cyan has any more tanks left now, but I'll have one there anyway. It's a good entrance to Rambo's base, because he's expecting attacks from the right side. So if I start building tanks on the left side, I can also do an attack there. And I've probably got a secret base that Rambo doesn't know about up there. Although he might try and go around the back, so he might see it. I don't know. But yeah, Cyan's still technically in the game, so just not really participating. Because he can't participate anymore because he doesn't have any structure. He doesn't really have any. He has a couple of structures left, but he doesn't have any. He can't produce anything because he doesn't have any funds coming in. And he will definitely have spent all those funds by now on those tanks that he built earlier to attack my base with. So yeah, you can see this army has grown quite a bit. And the question is when is it time to go on the attack? I'm just got some green tanks going up to the top part of the map there. So I don't know if they're going for some structure kills or, well, looks like they're going for the ore trucks. So I'll just bring my massive tank army up and just take out those two tanks, because it's going to be a one-on-one fight now with green. And yeah, we don't really want him actually going to the left side of this map. And we're hoping those Cyan would do some a bit of attacking, but it looks like they're letting that green tank go across. So that's not good for me, of course. I'm going to have to make that my main thing and get some tanks out here. So you can see those heavy tanks now. He knows about this base, definitely. But that heavy tank going down, and I think there's another one that was possibly going to go in, but we can't see it now. What I need to do, though, is I need to get my economy sorted before I go in for the attack, because you can see it is very weak at the moment. And the thing is, if I go in for the attack, I start losing tanks, but I won't be replenishing them. So I am in like quite a risky position at the moment, and it's those cruisers just making things a whole lot more difficult for me. I'm going to be trying to get some of my buildings down, like my radar dome once again. And you can see also my economy in that top left position, not great. So the radar dome goes down, and now I'm going to build a tech centre, hopefully third time lucky. But we'll see how that goes. Get some tanks in that top left as well, so I can defend if Rambo does decide to attack there. But we can see him going from a middle base. And now we're going to go for the attack here. We'll try and take out those tanks. You can see my army is absolutely huge. And there's no way that Rambo is going to be able to go through that. But it might have been a dummy move because you can see him taking tanks to the top. To the top right position. Yeah, you can see he split his forces. He's distracting me in one end. And then he's bringing tanks up to the other end. So I've had to split my forces. I've got one force going here. I'll need to keep some tanks back here though, because it seems like he's just got a few tanks there. So got a lot of tanks here. And now let's see this fight here. You can see I've got the better number of medium tanks, and he's going to try and go for the economy once again, I think. But I do think I have enough. I have enough tanks here just to hold him off. And you can see those heavy tanks going down, and that was quite a good trade for me. It was very efficient, and he's gone for an attack on the bottom base as well. So I'm going to bring my tanks back, and that's going to be quite wasteful for Rambo because he will have lost a lot of tanks in that fight. And what we can do now is we can sort of go on the push forwards, I think, because we've done what we needed to do, and now will be a good time to attack. And this might be the ideal window when he's just done an attack. He'll possibly be low on tanks, and we just need to attack him before he starts to build up those tank numbers once again. But you can see him bringing just a few tanks back there. So yeah, just going to defend against that, I guess, and then just focus on the attack for now. Just bring all my tanks over as well. I'll get the tanks from the left side of the map as well. And you can see him going for that construction yard, trying to get the kill on the last one of those. But I think that's going to go down. So now I've got all my tanks together. Now I'm going to be able to push down. You can see him funneling a few more tanks in. But these are just small numbers. And I do have... Oh, no, it's not so small numbers even. You can see it's actually quite large. And I think, yeah, I've got a crate there. I think that's the map visibility crate that reduces map visibility. So a bit of an annoying one to pick up. But now we need to defend against these tanks. These heavy tanks coming in once again. I've sold that tech centre. I didn't have satellites, so it's not like I've lost like too much map. Well, I didn't have any map visibility to begin with anyway, so let's see what we can do here. We've got another construction yard out at the top left of the map. And now those heavy tanks going down. He's trying to bring in as much as possible, but I think we're going to be able to destroy them. And then, yeah, we were going to go on the couch attack. And now Rambo has tapped out of the game. I think Rambo's known my army's just got too big. I've got too many tanks. He can't win it. And the next time I go on an attack, he was just going to be wiped out. And the last person in the game is Cyan. And now we know where this game is heading, because Cyan doesn't have anything to build. So quite a hectic game there. And there was a lot that happened in that game. Right at the start, I had Red, who started right next to me. And that's always hard when you have an opponent start right next to you, because it takes a lot of resources to destroy them. But I managed to get an extra MCV out while I was attacking them actually as well. So that sort of like helped me. I didn't suffer that badly from that. Then we had Yellow, who was the first person to come in with Tanya's. And then Green with Tanya's as well. So the Tanya's actually managed to get a bit of damage. They didn't do anything too major, but they got like a lot of key structures down anyway, so I needed to get some pillboxes off the base. And then I did this attack on the top left because they'd built cruisers in the middle lake. I went for an attack on the top left, managed to get established on that ore patch. And over the course of the game, I think that top left ore patch was probably one of the key reasons I won this. Without that, I would have found it very, very difficult. Because I was limited on that middle ore patch. So thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed the video.